Oh my gosh, how ridiculous was that?
But they were
You're good, Steph.
Okay, I'm just waiting for it to work on this end.
Okay.
Okay, do you guys see something on your screen that says we're live?
Yeah,
We're good.
it says live. We're good.
Beauty. All right, so we have officially started. Welcome everybody who's joining us tonight to the Command Post. This is our special holiday edition, episode 17. Thanks for those who have been following us this whole time. I am Stephanie Shapiro, COO of the Together We Stand Foundation. We are a foundation that serves to honor and thank military families across Canada. Today, I have with me some awesome guests. I have with us a face that you should be familiar with if you followed us this far, Sarah Razima Seaton. She is a household name on this particular show. I have joining us again, Kathy Priestman, who's joining us. And I have Eleanor, who's also joining us for what is this, your second, third, fourth time, Elle? Third time, Eleanor Miller. And with me today is my work husband, normally you would say the better half. What do you say, the worse half in this particular?
No, I think that still rings true.
Rick Seymour, the CEO of the Together We Stand Foundation. So thanks everybody for being with us tonight. And thank you so much for wearing your awesome holiday sweaters. I actually feel like I need to get in the mood here. So hang on. So I just feel like I just need to get in.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now I feel like I need to get into character here. Are we good now? Hang on, Seymour, hang on. You can't be left out. Hang on. Put your mask on. I'm coming in. I'm coming in hot.
I don't like the sounds of this at all.
Your mask, I love it.
I don't like the sounds of this at all. I'm really
I love this so much. Also, I very much like your mask, Rick.
Thank you.
They're very cool.
We'll have to send you one, Kathy.
That would be great.
Oh God.
Oh.
Oh, love it.
Here you go. All right, rock on.
And we can still see your little Lacoste label, so you're still cool.
So you're still good.
I'm still matching. Perfect. And just for the record, I was not aware this was a Christmas sweater fiasco. Otherwise, I would have brought one. I do have several. So.
Oh, I made my own.
I love the tassels, the strategically placed tassels.
I was, full disclosure, I was younger when I made the sweater, so they're a little off now.
I was gonna say, if I made the sweater when I was younger, they would be significantly further north than they are now after 2 children. So anyways, here's my festive Christmas tree. Cheers to everybody. Have a very good show tonight.
Yeah, cheers.
So tonight we're going to have a little bit of fun because I know sometimes we talk about things that are a little bit more serious, and not to say that there aren't some serious topics about this, but it is our last show of the year before 2021 hits. And with 2020 being a bit of a shit show that it was, I figured let's keep it a little bit lighter tonight. So as you can see, I have I don't know what I'm going to call this, my holiday wheel of fun. It seems, Kathy, every time you're on this show, I have the wheel going because normally
I like the wheel.
But I feel like anytime Kathy's on, I need the wheel. So I'm going to ask, so here's how it's going to go. I have different topics and I'm going to spin our wheel and we're going to answer questions related to the topic. Rick obviously isn't going to answer because he's not a military spouse. But if we land on a black spot, then Rick has to answer holiday trivia. Okay. And if he doesn't get it right, he has to take a drink. And if he gets it right,
multi-holidays?
Yeah.
It's mostly like pop culture Christmas.
Okay, but it's Christmas focused as opposed to
it's mostly Christmas focused because even though I am Jewish and Eleanor is Jewish, unless Eleanor asks the question because she's far more well versed in the Jewish traditions, I would be making up the answers to, like, if I was to be like, where did latkes come from, the potato pancakes, I would have to make up an answer on the spot. So
how many days in Hanukkah?
That I can answer.
Oh,
that I can answer.
That's a good one.
That one, yeah.
Even Rick could answer that.
Rick, do you know that one?
8?
Well done. Take a drink because you got the answer right.
Yeah, good for you.
Winner again, y'all.
Yeah, winner. Okay, so anyways, we're gonna try to keep it military family focused because I do want to highlight the military family experience, the good, the bad, the ugly, the fun, the ridiculous. Because it seems like when you are part of a military family and I feel like you can't see my reindeer ears, and I'm sad about that. When you're part of a military family and you deal with the holiday season, you learn very quickly, and correct me if I'm wrong, you really need to kind of go with the flow, because it seems like you're never really sure what's going to come your way year after year. Am I right about that? Or
Yeah.
Absolutely.
okay, so we're gonna keep with that idea of going with the flow as a military family during the holiday season. So let's get our, okay, what did I call it? The holiday wheel of fun. Right now it's gonna be the Christmas spirit wheel. That's what we're gonna call it. And our first category is weird military family holiday quirks. What are some weird military family holiday quirks that you've either come up with? It's a tradition of yours. It's something that you had to make up on the spot because you were like, screw it, I gotta go with the flow and make the best of the situation.
I have a good one of those.
I knew you would.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I grew up in a military family too. My father was in the forces. He was RCR, and he was posted to Pakistan when I was 12 and 13 years old. So one year we spent Christmas in Pakistan, and long story short, we got socked in with bad weather. We couldn't celebrate Christmas where we'd planned to. We ended up in Karachi, Pakistan, riding camels on Christmas Eve on the beach. And the next morning when we woke up, we didn't have a Christmas tree. And so I took, at the age of 13, I was like, we have to have a Christmas tree. So I took the newspaper that had been slid under our hotel room door and I rolled it up. And then, you know how you roll it up and then you
like cut it
down?
Yeah.
And then I took some string and tied it to a lamp post that was sitting on a tree. And that was our Christmas tree for that year. And we just all took turns going down to the hotel gift shop because we just got in on Christmas Eve. And my parents give us each money, and everybody took turns going down to the gift shop, and we all bought each other gifts and then brought them up, and we had them all wrapped in newspapers and put them under the newspaper Christmas tree.
So did you buy like bookmarks or keychains that just said Pakistan on them, or like?
Well, it was I think it was the
Logos or-
Intercontinental Hotel, so there was probably some stuffed camels. There was probably some. What else would we have had in Pakistan? We would have had some nice carpet pieces that you could like put your phone on. There was all kinds of weird stuff. So we have these interesting collections of gifts from around the world that we bring out every Christmas now.
That's awesome.
That's
To be
cool.
honest, when you talked about the Christmas quirk, I thought it was going to be the riding camels thing. So I didn't even think that you were
Oh
going
yeah,
to
no,
do
we just did that.
like
They just
newspaper
kept-
Christmas tree.
Like they've kept it going throughout. Like
Well, we
the
don't
last
ride
20 years?
camels all the time, you know, on the beach. But that was just like an activity. My parents were like, well, it's Christmas Eve. Let's find something to do, you know. So off we went to the beach and we rode camels on Christmas Eve. Yeah.
That's
And then later on Christmas.
awesome. In the meantime, I want to give a shout out to Denise, who's watching us and listening from Winnipeg. I want to give a shout out to Glenn, who's watching from Durham in Ontario. We also have Norm coming at us from Kirkland in Ontario. We have Megan. Hi, Meg. Talking about moose milk, which is
yes.
nice. We were just talking about moose milk. And that's what we have so far. So hello to everybody who's watching, and thank you for your comments so far. This just in, I just learned what moose milk is from Eleanor and Sarah and Kathy. And I actually think that we need to make this happen in January for our next command post. Like, Kathy, I think we're gonna have you on our next command. I don't even know what the topic is.
Oh, I
but
can
you're
make
gonna
it.
be our guest. And
yeah.
we're gonna make moose milk, and I'm gonna apparently just drink out of a tub of ice cream saturated in rum or whatever it is.
It's delicious.
Love
It sounds awesome. Okay, Sarah L, what are some weird holiday quirks that you've had so far?
Elle, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that it's a quirk, but as you can see, I'm wearing my Hanukkah sweater.
You need to like show everybody what it says, because
It says "Oi to the world."
Oi to the
Oi
world.
to the world.
It's awesome.
So
And your hair is flashing, which is
oh
also
yes, I turned it off. It was a bit like epileptic inducing, but it does flash. We have some cool decorations for Hanukkah. No, I mean, in terms of quirks, like I'm Jewish, so we celebrate Hanukkah. Tom is Catholic, so obviously we always do, Christmas. So, I mean, for me, really the only quirk is just like combining those two holidays, and then usually having a crew of people where I'm outnumbered who have literally no idea what Hanukkah is, and I am like the first, entree into the Jewish world of latkes and sufganiyot, which are jelly donuts. So at least this is like a good fun holiday. So I end up doing lots of education. And I mean, for us, usually the holidays last all December because Jewish holidays usually come before Christmas. So we get that out of the way, and then we do the Christmas decorations and just like keep on partying into January. But nothing as cool as a rolled up Christmas tree, I have to say. Made
So
in a
what?
newspaper.
Christmas
We're
tree?
pretty nothing as cool as a rolled up
Oh, yeah.
newspaper Christmas tree. Kathy's got me beat on that. We're
No
pretty safe.
camels, no camels in
No
your
camels, no like, animals, real animals in a nativity scene, none of that. So we're pretty lame. We're pretty tame.
Sarah, what is your, first of all, Sarah sent me an entire wardrobe full of Christmas outfits that she could have been wearing tonight. And can you get Rosie to make an appearance in his Christmas suit before the night is done?
He's watching, so you have to ask him. But
Hey, Rosie, I'm looking right at you into the camera. Rosie, go into your closet, put on your Christmas suit, and make an appearance because it is our last episode of the season. And I have no real reason for you to do it other than peer pressure, and whoever's watching you tonight will really get enjoyment out of it. So if you ever loved us and you ever loved Together We Stand as an organization, no pressure, you would put on your suit and you would do a little catwalk for us. So Rosie, I'm getting that to happen tonight.
his very highly flammable suit.
Okay, Rosie, don't go near any open flames, but wear your suit because the pictures of it are outstanding and I really need to see the real live action version. In the meantime, we have Liz joining us. We have Brian joining us. We have Heather joining us and Lisa and Troy. Hi, Troy. And Melissa joining us. Welcome everybody to our special holiday, episode. So
They are a very tolerant and patient crew. Wow.
Right. We are there. I mean, they're going to put up with a lot of shenanigans tonight which is why we invited Kathy onto the show specifically. So let's go to our holiday spirit wheel or whatever the hell we're calling it. And okay, biggest holiday fails in the military as a military family. What were your biggest holiday fails?
Ooh, I would say once upon a time, Eric was deployed and I thought that I would wait until Christmas Eve to put the small human kitchen that I had got the kids, and it had 9 million pieces and took 5 hours to put together in the middle of the night when you're tired.
By yourself, and you were like single parenting at the time?
Single parenting. Eric was over, he was deployed, and yeah, I had waited because once you build it, it's built, right? So, and I didn't want the kids to find it. So I thought I'd wait until Christmas Eve to put this together. How hard could it be? Because, it's only yay by yay, but it had 1 million pieces in it. So big fail.
Okay, Chris, that was a big Christmas holiday fail on your part.
Fail.
Okay. Elle, do you have a holiday fail?
I do, kind of a sad one. I'll share it anyway. It was
That's okay. This is all about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if we need to go to the ugly, that's fine.
so
Let me mentally prepare. Hang on.
Tom was deployed, but he was coming home 2 days before Christmas. So, and that it was the year that Christmas and Hanukkah fell at exactly the same time. We were in Edmonton. Ethan was barely a year. My nanny had just quit and I was working full time. I had just come back from my big conference in Ottawa. And so I was juggling with kind of like temporary people. I was exhausted. Anything that could go wrong went wrong in the 6 weeks that he was away. But I was like, I am determined to have a Christmas tree decorated and ready for when he comes home. Oh, and I also decided to host 40 people at our house for something called Havdalah, which is the end of Shabbat, because we were talking about families from, different religions coming together. And I thought, I'm going to make my house beautiful. There's going to be a Christmas tree, menorah. I'm going to get all the decorations up while juggling, luckily a good baby and no help. And I was so tired, and I ended up running all over Edmonton, getting this, getting that, getting the other thing. And I was so tired, and my hands were like cracked and raw. And so I took my engagement ring off in the Superstore line to put cream on. And I was like half asleep, and I thought I tossed it into my purse, and I went to check out, and I grabbed all the things, and I got home, and the ring I got when I was 16 came out. My engagement ring did not come out. So yeah, that was a really tough conversation to have when he came back, to be like, by the way, here's your Christmas tree, but I might be missing something on my hand. Yeah.
Okay, I haven't even
So that
heard
was like, I should have maybe like quit while I was ahead and like not tried to get the Christmas tree up and just been like, yay, you're home. Like, here we are. But who knows?
I haven't even heard what Kathy's Christmas fail is yet, but I think you won this round.
Yeah,
Or
I'm gonna
lost
pass.
this round?
But the tree was up.
Or lost this
Just a
round?
pass.
I don't know, but that's shitty.
Yeah.
How did that conversation go over? To be like, you have a Christmas tree, but my finger's bare.
Do you know
Yeah, you
what?
know,
If that
he
was
was
today,
very
you could
chill.
start a GoFundMe with that story. You could have the biggest freaking rock on your face.
Oh, yeah, 100%, 100%.
Seriously. That's a horror. I'm past.
He took it in stride. He took it in stride. He was very kind about it, but I was like,
That's a bad holiday fail. Yeah.
yeah, that was bad.
Win that. I mean, depending on what Kathy says, you win that round. In the
No, Kathy is not going to follow the lost wedding.
But the house looked
Yeah.
great, and I hosted
Yeah.
like 40
so
people.
good. The
and
Christmas lights were up. I lost my engagement ring.
my
we
kid was happy. Everything
had
was
the
good.
Hanukkah pastries. It was fine. In the meantime, welcome to Denise, and welcome to Anne and Raymond and Benjamin and Mike and David and Dawn and Blair and Scott and Martin. Welcome all of you to this holiday special. We're so happy that you're joining us.
Just real people, because I'm feeling a little like rock starish. That's really fun.
I just went on to Google and I was like, what are the most popular names?
Yeah.
That's all that's happening right now.
These are the most people I've been around in ages.
Yeah, I know, it's true.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. Once you get into social distancing, you're almost like weirded out by being around people, right? So but I kind of like it. So thanks. And hi Lisa, who's watching with us tonight. So Kathy, I want to call you Catherine.
It doesn't matter. Whatever. Yeah.
But it feels weird calling you that. What is your biggest holiday military family fail?
Yeah, honestly, I can't think of a really good one. So like I have other.
Is that because you always turn your fails into like hilarious situations, so they're not really fails?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. We have a lot of weird stuff goes on in this house, a lot. But I can't think of a really big. I mean, we didn't have a Christmas tree and we made one. Like, so what? I don't consider it a fail. You know what I mean? Like, you just keep rolling with it. We did.
I think you just made a very, very good point, Kathy. Is that like after this is our 17th episode, and after talking to military families, military spouses, and mothers and siblings about military related issues, you just made a very, very interesting point that it's never really a fail, because no matter what the situation is that you guys are faced with, you turn it into a roll with the punches. It's going to be okay. It's still a success situation. That's the most amazing thing. Your Christmas tree made out of newspaper is a perfect example of that. You're just like, we're just gonna turn it into something awesome and make it a good story.
So yeah, I mean, and it's you just have to have this sort of roll with it kind of attitude and see where you can, if you can get to the finish line. Like when I was deployed in Egypt, I was there for 14 months and I had no intention of coming home for Christmas. I was like 25 and single, and I thought
this is when you were serving.
When I was serving, yeah. And my intention was to stay overseas so that people who had families could go home. And I was like, I'm single. It's not a big deal. I can stay here. And that was my intention when I got there in May. And that was my intention all through October and November. And then on the 22nd of December, I started being like, I kind of want to go home to my mom. And then I was like, no, but I told everybody I would stay and that's okay. And then my boss was like, hey, what's up? I'm like, well, and he goes, we can make do without you if you want to go. And I was like, well, I told everybody else, that he goes, no, I'm going to be here. I'll cover for you. You go. So on the 23rd of December, I slapped down my Visa card and thankfully didn't have a mortgage or anything at that time, and bought a return ticket from Cairo to Ottawa and showed up on my parents' doorstep on Christmas Eve.
Did you tell them you were coming?
No.
That's awesome.
So I rang the doorbell and my dad answered the door and he went, and I was like, shh. And he was like, what the hell? Shush. Shush me. I'm excited to see you too. It's not all about your mother, So then they were just getting ready to go out with family to a family friend's place where they went every year. We always went there on Christmas Eve. And so I just dropped my bags. I brushed my teeth. I didn't even change. We got in the car. And I remember going to their house, and it was just like, Christmas as usual. And the best thing about it was, as soon as I walked in the door, she knew that I had been, Mrs. Clark knew that I had been serving in Egypt. And she was like, how would you like a bacon sandwich? Oh my God, I would love a bacon sandwich. And so that's what I had for Christmas Eve that night. So, even though I had planned to stay there, it wasn't a fail because I decided to come home, so you can always just sort of flow with whatever's going on. I mean, not everybody has the opportunity to come home the way I did, but also very expensive.
You're right. I like the fact that it's not even really a Christmas fail at the end of the day. It's just, it's what it is. You make the best. Christmas elf, I have 2 requirements of you right now.
Good God.
Okay. Number 1, it's time for you to answer a Christmas question. What did the other reindeer not let Rudolph do because of his shiny red nose?
What did it play any reindeer games?
That's right. You win. Take a drink.
Boom. Wait, hold on. I thought if I won, I didn't have to drink.
You have to do both. You have to
So I think you have to.
It's all drinking.
The other thing you have to do is bring me some eggnog because I'm out.
So I guess you can't drink then.
No. You need to bring me some because I left it in your office. So you're gonna
Hold,
have to.
please.
Yeah.
I have to mask up.
Mask up. Okay. In the meantime, we're gonna spin the wheel. I didn't call it anything. What did we call it? We're gonna call it the Hanukkah because now we're gonna do Hanukkah. We're gonna go the Hanukkah holiday wishes during. Oh, we landed on holiday sales again. Hey, my Christmas elf is here. Okay, yeah. Thank you. That's good. Thank you. Okay.
Very handy. I would like one.
This category is called I Lied to My Kids. I feel like there's some good stories here.
Like, is that today or over the holidays, or
No, I would say
of,
let's
like,
put it this
their
way.
life?
We want a holiday themed I lied to my kids. But if you don't have a holiday themed one, I'm willing to accept answers outside of holiday theme.
I remember the big question, like, so I'm just laying it out for you, Mom. This was my son. Is Santa real?
Oh, how do you deal with first of all, how old was he?
So he was probably like grade 4. And where was Mike? I don't know. Anyway, he wasn't there. And I felt like I was literally sort of backed into the corner in the kitchen. And I thought, oh, I don't have an escape route. And I thought, okay, I really need to sell this because he's got a little sister. And I wasn't ready to, give it up.
Not the magic of Santa.
Yeah.
It's
I
going
was
to be
like,
a tough convo to have.
So here's what I did. I swore at my kid for the first time ever. I said,
so he asked you about Santa and your response was to swear.
Yeah. So, because I wanted to sell it.
Okay.
Right. So
I can't believe, sorry, you didn't swear at your kid until he was in grade 4? That's
Well,
super impressive. My kid's only in
Excellent.
senior kindergarten.
yes, but it was an intentional directly at. It was not an accidental, you heard me, So he was like, so what's the deal? And I said, are you kidding me? I might have said, are you kidding me? I said, do you honestly think that I have time on top of every other thing I'm doing in this house right now to shop for extra presents, to make extra cookies, to go outside and make freaking snow prints in the snow? And on top of everybody's mother and mother-in-law, I just don't have time for that shit, Matthew. Do you really honestly think that Santa's not real? And he was like, whoa.
That is
All right.
good.
That's a great answer. Actually.
That was my tactic. I got one more year.
That's very believable. I respect that. I mean, if there's ever a time to swear at your kid, I do think
Keep
that
the magic alive.
I think when you swear in the direction towards your children, they're more likely to like pay attention and really think that you're like it.
I feel like I kind of sold it.
In the meantime, I want to welcome James and Kyle and Lynn and Patty and Linda and Kurt to our discussion. If you are just joining us here today, we are talking about holiday trials and triumphs with regards to military families. And right now we're talking about the times that we've lied to our children. So Elle, was there ever a time related to the holidays? Remember lying to Ethan?
See, it's complicated in our house because Ethan, we made the decision, Tom and I, to have him like raised in the Jewish faith, but we're not going to make him miss out on, you know, the things that his dad, you know, gets to celebrate, because we, you know, Tom's pretty secular, but we celebrate the fun stuff like, you know, Easter and eggs and, you know, all of that, and, you know, Christmas trees. And, you know, if dad gets to celebrate it, you know, it's kind of lousy if you don't let, you know, the 5-year-old or the 4-year-old or the 3-year-old participate. But, you know, he's at the awkward stage now where he's like, you know, hearing in his school, which is Jewish, that like Santa isn't for like Jewish kids. So I haven't come up with a satisfactory lie, like, but most of the time we just go with, you know, well, Santa brings stuff for dad, you know, and mommy and daddy buy things for you, you know. So we haven't killed the Santa isn't real, but we've tried to like separate it from him. So it's not a lie. He's only 5, but you know, Steph and Rick have, you know him a little bit, and he's well beyond 5 in understanding.
5 years old, but he thinks with the brain of a 23-year-old. So there's not a lot you
can't pull the wool over his eyes. He is gullible though.
From Mr. and Mrs. Claus.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I like that.
I mean, he just likes the fact that he gets presents every time he turns around. So luckily he hasn't really like thought
he doesn't question where the gifts are coming.
No. So, you know, for Hanukkah, we do one for each night. So
Kathy just spit out her drink for the record.
Spit all over my tassels. Yeah.
But no, he gets 8 presents for Hanukkah, and then he gets like, you know, some stuff on Christmas. So at this point, I don't think he cares like who they're coming from. But I mean, we were out and about today, and there was, you know, one of the mall Santas, and he was like, "Is that Santa real?" And I was like, "Well, I think he's one of the helper Santas."
Right.
And he like wouldn't let me get out of it. He's like, "No, is he real?" And I was like, and then he came to it. Luckily, he's a smart kid. He comes to his own conclusion. He's like, "Is it one of the elves?" And I was like, yes, one of the elves is sitting in for Santa. And he's like, "Can we go and look at him?" And I was like, "Absolutely." So I gave this little wave, and then I was like, "Okay, out."
Right now, though, I was in the mall the other day, and
the plexiglass in front of Santa.
Santa was wearing a big mask.
Yeah,
super weird, and like the kids are standing 6 feet away, and it just feels very bizarre to be.
And it just kind of gets down to it's a creepy old guy looking at kids.
Creepy old guy looking at kids wearing a mask. Like,
seriously, Santa's magic, and he can't handle the COVID thing. Like, that's just.
Yeah, no, that's true. It is. So Sarah, I want to know, coming back to the category, I lied to my kids because I feel like, first of all, where's Rosie? Like, why hasn't Rosie made the appearance yet? Do I need to call him on his phone to be like, make an appearance in your Christmas suit? God damn it, because I will. Does Kathy have more influence over Rosie than I do?
I'm looking him up right now.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Oh my goodness. I once lied to my kids and told them that there were 2 Christmases.
Ooh.
Okay.
So, because the first time Rosie was deployed, Caitlin was just a baby, so she didn't really know the difference. But when they did really notice, which was second time, and it was really, he was coming home in the end of January, I think. So we kept the Christmas tree up for an additional month, but it was a real Christmas tree. So anytime you touched it, all the needles fell off. So we did Christmas part 2, and it was awesome. So it was just, you know, we told them, well, I told them that year that there were 2 Christmases and we had all of our friends around. So no one had anything else to do because it was January. So we had a big,
So
big,
2 Christmases. That's a good lie, though.
it was good. It was
That's
fun.
a solid lie. Kathy, did you get a hold of Rosie?
So I just want to
I'm
know
on the
if
phone
she,
right now with Sarah's daughter.
Oh,
yeah,
hi, Caitlin.
I was wondering if she'd like just won a trip or something of some kind.
No, she's for sure calling Rosie to be like, Rosie's a lieutenant colonel. Yes.
Yeah, I think she's calling Caitlin to go get her dad.
I need to know that there is a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force that is willing to model his Christmas suit right now for our special holiday season episode. Because if there's ever a time to put on and model your Christmas suit, now is. Oh, we got a thumbs
We
up.
got a thumbs up. I mean,
Okay, so Caitlin is now going to find Rosie and tell him to get dressed.
Caitlin is Sarah's 16-year-old daughter, for people who don't know, and she gets shit done. Like, if anybody.
She's a rock star.
Yeah. So, but wait a second, Kathy, does she call you the Kathy who drinks? Is that?
No,
No, my kids call Sarah the Sarah who drinks. 'Cause
Oh,
I'm
okay. There was
Sarah's
something here in terms of, yeah. Okay. I needed to just check on that. In the meantime,
I'm using a
Oh,
paper
that's
clip
good.
off my desk to get the cherries out of my drink.
are there cherries?
Improvisation. I love it.
Yum. Are they maraschino cherries?
They are.
That's the best kind.
That's the military
Rick,
way.
look
It's
at that.
acting
We landed
overcome.
on a black square. Rick,
Oh, God.
how many ghosts show up in A Christmas Carol?
3?
Well, oh, wait a second. Doesn't
Oh,
no?
Is this a trick question?
It's a trick question, I think. It's a trick
There's-
question. Think about this.
yes.
Does he show up as himself as a ghost in one? So does that make it 4?
No, you're failing.
Oh.
You're failing. Get your glass ready because
Get it? Failing.
failing.
This is a
Okay,
tough game. I was
correct
going
me
to
if I'm
drink
wrong,
anyway.
and this is coming from the Jew in the group. There are, in fact, 4 ghosts because I believe Jacob Marley shows up first to indicate that 3 ghosts will be showing up for Scrooge during the evening. Take a drink, Rick. You lose.
I just did. But in the version I like, is that the cricket that shows up to tell him?
Do you watch a Mickey's Christmas Carol?
Well, I don't know what I'm just saying. I
Because we
heard
just watched that
somewhere.
on the weekend with my kids.
I heard
Okay,
somewhere.
spinning the holiday spirit wheel. Best memory. What is your best military family holiday related memory? Sarah, we're going to start with you this time because you've gone last the last couple of times. So we'll let Eleanor and Kathy collect their thoughts on this one.
I kind of like going last because then you've got enough time to.
I know, but I'm going to put you on the spot on this one.
Best holiday memory. I don't know. I love all. Like, I think I've loved all of the holidays.
What's like a very military, like there's some holidays I imagine that are just like kind of ordinary holidays, but what are some that kind of bring to the forefront like that military feel, that military family feel? Is it celebrating it at a different time of year? Is it celebrating it at the mess? Like what's something that you can think of that provokes a really great holiday memory that's related to military?
Well, I'm not sure that the memories of the mess are a great one, but
Can you remember anything that happened?
I once won a TV though. I would say the thing that I love the most, and it's going to be different this year, is that we always have extra people like on Christmas Day. So, if there's someone that, can't get home or they're, for whatever reason they're working or, sometimes it's just, you've got a single member or we always have extra people and it's wonderful. And it doesn't matter who you are and there's board games and all sorts of things that happen by the end of the evening. But I think that that's the thing that I love the most because your family is not always your blood relatives. Your family becomes this gigantic, additional military family too.
That's good. I like that. Solid answer, Sarah. You deserve a drink. Go ahead. Kathy, let's go to you next. What's your favorite military family holiday memory?
I have a specific moment, but I used to love, this was while I was serving, and then even now that my husband's still in and I'm out, the junior ranks Christmas dinner. So that's where the senior officers would go and serve Christmas dinner a couple days before Christmas to the other ranks. And it was just to the non-commissioned members. And the youngest person on the base would switch tunics and uniforms with the base commander. And then they would be the base commander for the day. And all the senior officers would roll up their sleeves and take off their tunics and put on an apron and serve dinner to all the people who made basically kept the bases or wings running, all the people who sacrificed every day and did weird shifts. And it was just always, I thought, a really cool way of saying thank you and giving back and just recognizing that everybody was people, or, you know, everybody
That's awesome.
are people. And I love that tradition. And I always check in with Mike when he goes and does it now. I'm not serving anymore, so I don't go, but I'm like, how was it? And how young was the kid, you know, and who got to be switch the tunics? And shocking now, some of them, I'm old enough to be their mother. But I just love that tradition of all the members of the military coming together in different roles at Christmas. So, and that happens on every base everywhere.
Mhm.
So it's one thing that bonds the locations together. No matter where you're living, you know that you're probably going to have that event.
I love that. That's a great answer. Elle, what's your favorite, what is it? Or your best holiday military family related memory?
See, I don't have one that's like specifically related to the military, but you know, it was one of my favorite Christmases. And we happened to be in Edmonton because that's where Tom was posted. But we were, you know, this was pre-Ethan, and you know, we were friends with, you know, tons of people that weren't from Alberta and so weren't going home. So kind of along the same lines as Sarah, that somehow in this little tiny house, I ended up having like, I think it was 14 people for Christmas Eve dinner, because the tradition in my family, the Jew says, is that dinner is always on Christmas Eve. You know, because my dad was English and we would decorate the tree and then we would do dinner because he didn't want my mom kind of slaving away on Christmas Day. That was like a chill out. So we've always done it like that. And it was the year that I didn't have an oven in the house that we had rented. So I borrowed my neighbor's oven. I had a convection oven. I had this oven.
Hang on, how do you borrow an oven?
There was a moment when the convection oven, which the turkey fit into, actually broke and stopped working. And so I had to run next door to my really nice neighbor and knock on his door and be like, hi, is your oven? And he was so sweet and he basted it for me and it was great. And he wouldn't even come over, you know, for Christmas Eve dinner, even though he was by himself. And I was like, come on, like it'll be fun. But we crammed 12 people in. I somehow cooked this dinner for a dozen people and I cooked everything from scratch. Like it was total insanity, but I love to cook. And I just remember cramming everybody in, and it was like lots of people who were like Jewish, you know, and so we were like, yay, Christmas. And then lots of people who couldn't get home for Christmas being like, oh, this is so nice. Like somebody's like, you know, bringing some traditions. And it was just like a really fun night. So not like military specific, but we were in Edmonton.
That's
because
awesome.
of the military.
You know what I love is that I've heard, whether it's from you, Elle, or from Kathy and from Sarah and from so many other individuals we've managed to speak to on the command post, it just seems like because the military families are relatively isolated in various times in their life and they're not with their family, it seems like, and correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like there is this sort of unspoken, you know, we will become your family. You know, if you don't have a place to go, you come be with us. And I think that's just so incredibly warm, because I think that whether it's Canadians or just general people, you know, we're not always like, here, just come into my house, come be with us. And it seems like part of the military tradition is to just sort of make your own family when you don't have family. And I just love that. And it seems to be even more prevalent during the holiday season. So I think that's just outstanding. So what a great story.
I think it's cool too, because not every Christmas is the same. So when you look at traditions, your traditions have to be very small and portable.
Yeah.
Right? Like your stockings might be a tradition, but what you're eating for dinner, what day you're eating it on, and who is going to be there is absolutely not, you know, that's all up for grabs. It's like bingo balls and one of those tourney things. You never know what's going to squirt out that year. Mm-hmm. So you just have to be flexible. And the cool thing about that is, so this year, you know, Christmas involves many, many less people and a much more restrictive environment. We're just going with it, because it's just a different Christmas, just like all the other ones were different.
Yeah, it's so funny. I keep seeing these memes on Facebook, and I think it's so telling, where it's these military spouses that are posting these memes that say something about being isolated or like having to go with the flow during an odd Christmas or odd holiday season. They're like, please, like, here, hold my drink. Like, I got this. Like, this is literally my life. And it's just outstanding to see the resiliency that military families show, that they just make, and it's not even, it seems like you're not making the best. You are literally having the best time in whatever circumstance may present to you. It's just an outstanding quality that I keep seeing military family after military family. It's just unbelievable.
Yet it's not like that for everybody.
Pardon me?
I forget that it's not like that for
Right.
everybody.
Right, it's not. And to be fair, and I don't mean this in any condescending way, but there are a lot of civilians out there that don't have the ability to bring light to some heavy or some anomaly type situations where they are able to go with the flow as much and still enjoy it and really see the light in it. So
Well, to be fair, they've never had to.
yeah.
You
So
know,
it's a really outstanding quality that military families have learned over the years.
But I
for
think
sure.
military families have the ability to read other families probably better because of that. And sometimes it's, you kind of know that little extra, to kind of push a little bit further because you kind of see what someone's going through. And sometimes when it comes to you, you're like, oh, thank goodness, because you can say, no, I don't need help. And I still remember someone giving me a call, and I'm trying to haul, out this Christmas tree and trying to find a little bit of joy when I knew that, I wasn't, my husband had left right before Christmas and I wasn't going to see him for 6 months. And this one person showed up with dinner and their oldest daughter, who babysat our kids while she helped me put up the tree, because we had 3 kids under 5 at the time. So, and they have the attention span of a squirrel. So, putting up a Christmas tree is good for about the first 10 minutes, and then after that, it's you're on your own.
You're amazing, because I would have sold my children at that point. Back to our Wheel of Fun. Okay, funniest holiday as a military family. What was your funniest holiday? And while you're thinking of that answer, Rick, what are 2 other popular names for Santa Claus?
Popular names.
Yes. Keep it PG.
Kris Kringle.
Yes, number 1.
Père Noël.
Oh, that's a good one. I was going for Saint Nick, but I'll accept that answer. Well done. You can take a drink. Okay, let's go back to funniest holidays.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Elle, we're gonna start with you this time. Do you have a
No, don't start with me. You know what? I would say we've had like lovely, warm, friendly holidays, but like no like laugh out loud, funny that
fair enough.
immediately spring to mind.
Fair enough. Although I would say the fact that you're wearing an incredibly awesome holiday sweater and a flashing hair accessory, I would count that as pretty funny.
I'll turn it on for 1 second.
I love it. And frankly, I really need to know where you got that from, because we're having a Zoom holiday party next weekend for Hanukkah, and I feel like I need one of those in my life.
Oh yeah, our lovely Thornhill Sobeys, where all of the things.
Okay, I'm gonna go look, because that is an accessory I need to have in my life.
Okay, I got to interrupt here for a second, because judging on Sarah's face, I have a feeling that Rosie has now executed what you were logging.
Oh my god.
Oh yes.
Okay, ladies and
No, he hasn't. He hasn't.
Is Rosie there?
Well, I have an unstable connection.
Oh.
Nice
Sarah,
try.
can you hear us? Is Rosie there? Uh-oh. She's frozen.
Imagine, Steph, you're gonna lose it.
She's frozen. Okay, hopefully she'll come back. In the meantime, Kathy, we'll throw it over to you. What was your funniest
Okay,
holiday
so-
memories that you have?
So I hauled out a box in preparation for this. I hauled out a shoebox I found photos from my Egypt
Sure.
So good.
youngins. This is how you used to keep photos.
Wait, Kathy,
Okay.
do you remember, like, do you have the negatives that used to come with?
And I love that there's no
Polaroid
album,
copy?
Yes.
Kathy. It's just
So
like
for
this
those who
photo.
are under the age of 25, when we used to develop film, we used to get
Yep.
something called negatives that you could redevelop the pictures from after you developed them in the first place.
Some of these pictures should not be shared. However, I did, here's a picture of me when I was serving. Look how young I am. Whoops, not that
How
one.
old were you there, Kath?
24, 25.
We're amazing.
Okay.
And so for Christmas, I was the entertainment officer at the Canadian Mess, which was called the Beaver Lodge. We had
There
a lot
are
of
so
fun.
many things wrong with that. Yeah.
Oh my God, we had so much fun there. And this was in like 94, 95. So before the rules were just a little bit looser when it came to gatherings and beverages.
Fair.
Okay, so for Christmas, we had one person who volunteered to be Santa, but Santa needed an elf. So
I could have done that.
Yes, Rick.
you could have, you would have been great. So what I did was I put on, I had green shorts and I put on long johns, and then I stood out in my front porch with a can of green spray paint, and my neighbor spray painted me green because none of it was green. Right down to the desert boots, everything was green. And then I made a Santa hat, and that was it. I was the elf and I was handing out the presents. So that was pretty fun. But the other thing we did on that tour,
Wait, did you find the picture?
no, I don't know how. There's
Oh.
like 700 pictures here. There's a lot of pictures I can't share.
Kathy, if there's anything I want to see you in, it's in your long johns spray
I
paint.
will find this picture and I will send it to you, and you can put it up, like maybe I'll find it and put it in the comments.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so for
But
those
one
watching-
thing we did do,
Yeah.
just before I got on the plane and left to see my mother and my dad, we put on a nativity scene that was like live.
That's outstanding. So you did a live nativity scene.
Yes, with real animals. So that's me. And that kid was actually the shepherd. He was in charge of the actual sheep.
Wait, so he was a real life shepherd.
Egyptian shepherd kid. Yep.
That's
And I don't know what we paid him, but he brought in a bunch of sheep and some goats. And we had a doll for Jesus though, because
you couldn't find a live baby. You found sheep, but you couldn't find a baby.
we're in the middle of the desert.
I thought you couldn't. You were gonna say you couldn't find a live Jesus. I mean, that would have been
No, we were in the middle of the desert. So sheep and goats and camels, donkeys, not a problem.
Right.
easy to find there.
But
Yeah,
Babies,
for
not
sure.
so much.
Well,
Yeah.
I think there's probably a policy against that.
Finding babies and
Like anybody who was serving and had a baby would have had to go home. And yeah, I don't think we were borrowing babies
Renting
from the
babies.
nomad.
So
Renting babies in Egypt. Yeah, maybe not.
But it was super fun. Up until this torch thing got
Oh,
a
God.
little close to the basket.
Oh shit.
And so it didn't totally burst into flame, but there's some smoking and we had to like wrap it up, and three wise men were in and out really quick, and then boom, we wrapped it up.
Three wise men became the three
Also, the
firefighters.
goats were extremely unruly. The sheep seemed to be a little bit more containable, but the goats, they were like eating everything. So
That's Kathy, I think what I'd really like is to just sort of hang out with you on a regular basis. Or I would be really happy if you had a YouTube channel that I could watch on like just live stream on a regular basis, because that would make me
I
very
should
happy.
not
In the meantime,
randomly
I
share
have-
thoughts from my head. No.
We have Jojo that's joining us that's saying she's very thankful to be with her husband this Christmas because she finally has him staying at home. So yay, Jojo. We're so happy that your husband's at home this year. And we have Megan commenting on Kathy that you're pretty hilarious, which I
Oh.
have. to agree with. Kathy, you haven't yet mentioned your vagina. I don't
No, I
know
have
if you
not.
did that at any point.
Well,
but-
thanks for taking care of that for us, Steph.
Yes, that was the last call when I told delivery stories from birthing my children. Yes, I won't be doing
Sarah.
So
Yes!
Oh.
isn't it there?
Ladies and
Hey.
gentlemen, for those of you who are currently watching live with us, wait. Rosie, we have Lieutenant Colonel Eric Rosima Seaton, very well respected at CFB Trenton. He
Well,
is
at least.
extremely, he is an esteemed individual who has had years under his belt. He trains all of our highly respected pilots. Could you just make an appearance one more time, Rosie? Rosie. Is this thing on, Rosie?
No, I think you lost him.
One more time.
No.
Walk by the tree, just one more time.
I mean, you got the one walk.
I mean, I got the one walk. It was a really good visual, but where's Rosie?
I missed it.
I see you eyeing him, Sarah. He's like playing chicken with you right now. Do I walk into the screen or do I not?
Come on, Rosie.
Rosie.
It's kind of like the elf on the shelf. Occasionally you just get a glimpse.
Okay, well, we thank Rosie for making that really quick, albeit and brief appearance in his awesome holiday suit. For those of you who want to also buy an awesome Christmas holiday suit, we'll put the link below somewhere where you can too purchase your holiday suit and wear Rosie's attire. In the meantime, we are getting really
flammable. It comes in one size.
Do not go near any open flames. Guys, we are getting very close to the end of this. I can't believe how fast this has gone by. Before we ask one of our last questions, Rick, in the movie, It's a Wonderful Life, what happened every time a bell rang?
I have seen this movie. Fantastic movie. What happened?
Even the Jew knows this, Rick.
Come on. Bell rings, It's a Wonderful Life. What happens? Get your drink ready, my friend, because you're.
Well, I was just gonna say what happens is I'm gonna drink every time
Yeah.
I hear a bell ring now.
So he's lost. Would somebody else like to pipe in? Okay, guys.
Really? You don't know this one?
What happens? Okay,
No, I don't.
between the three of you, what happens in It's a Wonderful Life? What happens every time a bell rings? And educate our dear friend the elf over here.
An angel gets
Still
its
get these
wings.
wings.
Thank you. An angel gets his wings. I know what you and Elise are going to be watching this because you, my dear, have to brush up on your Christmas movies. Let's spin our holiday wheel of fun one last time and go to, as a military family, what did I wish I knew then when celebrating the holiday season? What's some wisdom that you've developed over the years when it comes to the holiday season that you wish you knew when you were younger and you could go back and tell your younger self?
Ooh.
Ooh, Kathy.
So when you cook
think-
a turkey, you have to open the ass of it and take those giblets out. Because the first time I did it, that did not go well.
That's, for those of you watching, that is Kathy's advice to her younger self.
Yes,
Open the ass of the turkey.
of the turkey. Yes, that would be it. Yeah,
Good advice.
well, it's, prevent salmonella.
Did you want to follow up that tidbit of information with something?
Advice that I would. Okay, so it's a little sentimental, but here's the thing. It doesn't matter where you are, and it doesn't matter who you're with. It is what it is, and there's a lot of stuff that's out of your control. So take stock of the things that you can control and just like amp up the joy in that. Because if your spouse is deployed or you're separated from your kids that year, or this year you can't get with family, there are other things you can do to keep it going. And I think military families do that very, very well. And it's just embrace the things that you can control instead of stressing out about the things that you can't. Just let them go right away. If Aunt Marg's not going to make it for Christmas, let it go right away. I don't have an Aunt Marg, but you know what I'm saying. Like, just embrace what you can and just shoot sunshine up the ass of that. Like, just make it super joyful.
Love
But
it.
Don't cling to the stuff that you can't control. Don't cling to the stuff that you wish you had. Don't think about how awesome it was 2 years ago and how that was the perfect year and it's not perfect this year, because no year is going to be perfect. So just go with what you got and make the best of it.
Well said.
Kathy, well done. And Sarah L., I dare you to follow that.
I was gonna say I can't top that. Can't top that.
No, I think Kathy has it in the bag as far as you just kind of roll with it. And, you make the best of it. And, you know, Christmas is about, I always thought that Christmas was like the day, but it's not. It's about all of the moments up until, and it could be Christmas or whatever you celebrate, but just have fun with, it's about peopling. Have fun with the peoples.
Mhm.
I mean, I would also follow that up with, because, you know, we've had a lot of, this mainly goes out to sort of like the young single members, if I'm speaking to them. Never say no. You know, like we knew a ton of them were by themselves and they would always feel kind of awkward, you know, that their sergeant or their warrant officer was inviting them over, because I was like, I'll cook for everybody, you know. And wouldn't you rather be with like friends and somebody's family than by yourself, you know, on Christmas? And when an invitation's given, like it's really meant sincerely. Like it was so hard to convey to them sometimes that like I was really serious that they were welcome in our house for Christmas, because they couldn't go home and, you know, just come for dinner and then go drinking with your friends after, you know, like, and it's not going to suck. Like it's going to be fun. You know, nobody's stuffy. So kind of that, like, you know, embrace the invitations and just go with it. But I mean, I think Kathy had it spot on too. Like it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, it is what it is, and just make the best of whatever's happening. If your oven breaks in the middle, just be like, oh well, you know, throw another potato in the pot, and you know, we'll just go vegetarian this year, or whatever you have to do. And you know, it's fun.
Guys, this was tremendous.
But the non-perfect ones make the best stories.
Sorry, what's that? What makes the best stories? Sarah, what did you say? I missed your.
Oh, I've got the worst internet connection.
She said.
No, I said the worst Christmases make the best stories.
Right. Okay, so there's always something to laugh about, guys. This was a tremendous episode. I think that the three of you really just emulate what the military family spirit is all about, of that just embracing the change, embracing the chaos, making the best of the situation. I thank all three of you for being part of this evening. I thank all of you who are watching, who have watched. This is our 17th episode of the Command Post. We are so lucky to be doing this. On behalf of Rick and myself, Rick, I'm going to speak for you, because usually you speak for me and I can't. You just shut up. So this is finally a time where I get to speak. We thank all of you for joining us. It is a privilege to be able to speak with military families on a regular basis, and to be able to showcase your stories, your experiences, and to learn life's lessons from some of the most resilient people that we get to come across. We wish all of you a very happy holiday season, and we can't wait to see you again in the new year with even more exciting topics and even more exciting things to discuss. So thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Elle. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you to my elf helper for answering not always the correct answers, the trivia that I've thrown at you. Rosie! And thank you to Rosie for making an appearance in his awesome Christmas suit. We wish you all a very happy, healthy holiday season. Stay safe during COVID. Do your part to socially isolate. And we will see you all in the new year. Thank you, Kathy, Eleanor, and Sarah.
Bye, guys.